Everyone. So in this lecture today, we're going to go over some HMI development. Like on the last video you guys saw, we had a screen made called main operator screen, and there were a couple of indicators up top, and down here were some push buttons we added. So normally you would have header and footer stuff in the HMI, and that way it's a global object and you can use it across multiple screens. So we're going to go ahead and do that on this one. So first off, I'm going to create a window screen and call it header. And as far as the width of the screen goes, we're going to make it the width of HMI, and I'm going to make it probably this much tall. Okay, that's going to be our header. Now the other one I'm going to make machine status, and this one would be the same width like we saw, but just for the status of the machine. And the third one would be footer screen. So this is where we will have our push buttons that we guys saw. So we'll edit this, and this is going to be all as the push buttons are. Now we can go to the main operator screen. We'll take these machine status, go to this screen and paste it. Now you see the width, the height's not right, so we're gonna make the height match this. So that's what the height would be for the machine status. Now we go to the main operator screen, and I can delete these. Then take these push buttons that we have and place them on the footer. Now we'll check the size. It's 100 height, so I'll resize the screen and make it 100. And that's what we have for the footer. Now we don't have any header, so we're gonna go ahead and place like a object to show the screen we're on. So I'm gonna do a comment display and put one of these comment window in. It doesn't have any shape, so we're gonna go give it a shape of I just want a frame, nothing fancy. See if it lets me put a frame on there. Oh, saying the frame is bigger than the size, so we'll leave it as is. We won't put anything there. As far as comment go, we don't have any comment list, but I'm going to make it indirect addressing, and group number would be group 1, and then on the device and style we're going to go put in GT100, and I'll tell you why we did this here in a second. Okay, now one more thing I'll add is a figure underneath it, so it looks nicer in the colors we want, and make this figure into a black color. So the figure may not show up, so we'll have to play with this. Make it a little bit smaller, then it should let me add a frame. What it's telling me is we're slightly outside the window that it can have. So there you go. Now we have it. Now you can make it as high as you want and not a problem. So, okay. So I'm going to go to my comment, add one. Number one, we'll name it as screen list. And the screen one is main operator screen. Then we'll go to add a couple of screens so you can see it. Alarm screen. And we would also make like a manual screen. So there are 3 screens that we just added. Now I can go back to the header, go to this, go to this guy, and here when you click, you can see what it's going to look when the text shows up. It's pretty small at this point. We're going to make it bigger so we can read it better. And we'll see how big can we go on it. So that's pretty decent size. We can read it. But this is just a preview, so it's not really showing this. It's going to show whatever we have in GT100. So now I'll show you how the GT100 gets linked to the screen number. real quick. So see this another project in the system. If you go to screen switching device, the base screen is set up for GD100 and the overlap window is set up for GD101. So what I do is I use this, don't want the title bar, and close the window when switching the base screen and hit OK. And I also like the X and Y so we can change it if we want. So now I'm gonna hit apply and OK. One more thing we'll need is a menu so we can click and go to different screens if we add. So we'll make screen 4 as a menu screen. This one would have the push buttons to go to all different screens that we want. So we'll just make it a size and go add object for screen switch. And one, I would say main operator screen. And we'll add an alarm screen with it. Now the text on this is a little smaller. I'm going to make it bigger so we can read. That's a little bit too big, so yeah, that looks better. Now I like to do the alarm screen, so we'll make screen number 10 for that. Go here and say alarm. And this was 20. Okay. Also, what I like to do is certain screens I would do a different color. So with the alarms, we're going to make it a red color. That way it's easier to find when you have so many screens around it. And I also like to put a text above this so we know what you're looking at. So we'll add a text saying menu and make it bigger. And I would like a small rectangle above it in a hatch format. So it just makes it look nicer. That's all. So we do that, pattern this thing. That's kind of too much of pattern on it. So make it light. And line color would be more or less a gray. And then you can bring this, do the layers on this thing. So stacking order, move to the front. Oh, wrong thing. Yeah, stacking order, move to the front. You can see that. Now this would be black, and we can make it 40. Yep. And as far as the background color, we're gonna make it that. Okay. So now you can make these centered, aligned, whatever you call it. So there you go. This is gonna be our menu screen. Now if you go to main operator screen, this is what we have. So I'm gonna delete these guys. And on the header, we're going to add a button to go to the menu screen. So if we go to switch, switch, go to screen, and we create a button like this, name it overlap window and menu. So this way it always opens up the menu screen. I also want to give my screen a way to align it. So that's where GD102. Right now I'm going to leave it at 0. We'll come back and fill it real quick, but I'll show you how to figure the dimensions out on the X and Y. So these are your X and Y when the screen's getting switched. And I have to name it menu and make it 24. All right, there you go. So from here, this would take us to the menu screen when we open up. And I want to go ahead and add another screen, but first we do this. So now you can drag this window screen, bring it up here, and show up. So now this will always be here. Then the machine status screen you can drag and bring it up here. And the footer screen you can drag and bring it down here. Okay, now we have our screen ready. So I'm going to copy this and paste it into screen number 10, which we are going to name it as alarm screen. So now this is alarms. I'm going to get rid of the machine status on the alarm screen, and this tab on the, I'll leave this so we can see a difference. Also, we have to go back to our project on the screen list. Actually, this was number 10. Yes. So now we have two screens made, and we'll make sure that when we simulate the project, we see the screen names, we have our pop-ups figured out. Now the menu offsetting I was talking about, so when you go back to main screen, you can drag a window, and let's say this is where the menu is. If you like this position, you click it, see the numbers down. So I want both X and Y in 220. So now you can go and delete this, go back to header, menu push button, and say you want this to be 220 and you want this to be 220, and press OK. At this point, our screen, header, footer, and machine status bars are ready. We'll save the project, go to the HMI PLC, put the PLC into simulation, and then we'll go to the HMI and put HMI into simulation. Okay, so our comment list did not show up. We'll find out here in a second. Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah, there you go. It didn't refresh, that's all. So yeah, as you can see, if I click on menu, we got our pop-up menu. You can move it around if you want. If we had the title bar on, but we did not. So, and then you can click on alarms, and this screen banner also changes when you click that. You still have access to your mode push buttons here, and you can click on menu and go back to main operator screen. One more thing I typically do is add a previous screen push button here. So you can go here, copy this, bring it there. I'd like to make them both the same size, so we're gonna try and find a happy medium between them. That way my buttons are same width. So we'll do 220. And this one would basically go shrink it to match it. And this here, we don't need any word set. And if you double click on this, you don't want an overlap. You want the base screen and previous. And then down here, we'll say previous. And we'll go at it and send the changes to the simulator again, which is tools, simulator, and update. And once it's done, oh, my buttons don't look lined up properly. I'm gonna redo those guys so they look nicer. Okay. I'm gonna check my header size just to make sure it's the right height. So 80, and I'm gonna make these 80 as well so they all match. And then go up to the top and make them go all the way to the top. So now they all should look nice and aligned properly. So we go to tools, simulator, update, and now it looks pretty good. So now if I click this, we can go to the alarm screen. You click it, you would go to the main operator screen. If I click previous, we're already on the previous screen. So if I click, go to alarm and click previous, it takes us to the operator screen. So right, that's it for the HMI. Now we have a good working setup of our menu bars and header footer. So uh, that's it for this class. On the next one, we'll go over some manual functions and add more lights and indicators on the HMI and work on some PLC logic as well. Thank you. Bye.